I'm Kerry. I'm the host of Best of Us in Retirement. I'm a retired financial advisor, and for some reasons we can get into later, I decided it was real important for me to share my knowledge and my experience with other retirees. I've been retired since 2005. As a financial advisor, a lot of my videos are about the finances of retirement. I also recognize that there's a life aspect of retirement as well. I just did a video on my cataract surgery. I've done a video on my abstention from alcohol for 30 days. That'll be ending just in tomorrow, as a fact. So what I want to do is recognize that we're all in this together and turn retirement into a team sport, and you help me with your knowledge and I help you with my knowledge, and I'll be the center of it, and see if we can't put a community together to help us all enjoy and prosper in our retirement a little bit better. My expertise, I say, is in finances. I was a CFP, a CHFC, and a CLU, and I did it for a number of years, and I helped people enter into, move through their retirement and do their estate planning. So I want to share that. I got a letter, an email. We don't get letters anymore, do we? I got an email from one of you, and it basically said, I'll be 55 next year. My wife and I have accumulated about $1,500,000 in negotiable assets. I assumed he meant investments. And is that going to be enough for us to retire? Well, I wrote him back and I said, you didn't give me enough information. And first of all, I asked him, did you both qualify for Social Security? He said, yes, we did. We both worked and we will both receive Social Security. And he gave me an estimate of what it might be. I told him, as soon as you get it, take it so you can invest it and do better on it than what the federal government will do for you. I then asked him what his risk tolerance was. How much is he comfortable striving for on a return on investment? Is it 5%? Is it 3%? Is it 8, 10, whatever? This is critical. This is real important. Then I asked him, of your 1.5 million, how much is in qualified assets, 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, how much is in those categories? And he basically said it was distributed pretty much even, 750 in qualified and 750 in non-qualified. Okay, with that, I have, in the past, you have seen, I do have a spreadsheet that I use, and that is you plug in the variables and anything from as the items we've already discussed, as well as your tax rate, and then very critical, I ask him, what do you anticipate your cost of living to be? And he said, well, we enjoy travel, we want to travel, and we like eating at nice restaurants. We think it's going to run somewhere around $80,000 a year. I said, okay, then we're going to have to inflate that by about 3%. So I said, okay, I'm going to plug these numbers into my spreadsheet, and let me share with you, this is not a solve all problems spreadsheet. I'm going to need some help from some of you, and that's what I'm saying. This should be a team effort to make this more functional. But what I want to do is take you to my computer in the next room in my office and show you the spreadsheet and show you how I plugged this gentleman's, let's call him John and Mary, let's call him John and Mary, how I plugged John and Mary's numbers into it, and under what scenarios he could retire, and let me share with you, under some scenarios, with 1.5 million at 55, he's not going to make it. So this is a learning experience, both for you and me, and hopefully we can all grow from it and be better off as a result of it. So come with me into the office. This is my retirement worksheet. I want to emphasize that this is a work in progress. It's something that I've put together that hopefully can help some people. What I've done is I've got some input areas, and they're critical, such as I've put in a different shade, a darker shade of yellow, the critical ones. Age 55. He told me he had 1.5 million in assets. It's important how they are distributed. How much is in qualified and how much is in non-qualified. It's real important that you have both if you're going to make it work. Then another very critical thing is your risk tolerance. What do you expect to make off of this portfolio through your retirement? 8%, 5%, 2%, 20%. It's critical. You're going to see it makes a huge difference. And then what are your expenses? Again, a critical matter. You've got to know what it's going to cost you to live, and then we'll attach a 3% inflation rate on it. So with this in mind, this is what it looks like, as I said, with 750, and 8%. What you want to look for is what happens to the non-qualified and qualified assets. Do we ever get to where we have brackets around them? In other words, we've depleted them. And the answer is no. If under this scenario, an 8% return in a 750, he's okay. He is actually running a deficit, a shortage, in the first several years because he's going to have to deplete his non-qualified assets because his expenses and his taxes are higher than his income. That changes, though, when his Social Security kicks in. So that's kind of the answer is, under this scenario, you're okay. Let's make one change, and let's change this to 5%, and let's see what happens. Notice that around, let's see, here we are on age 78, he depletes his non-qualified assets. This deficit is coming out of his non-qualified assets, and he depletes them, okay? That's an issue. Now, the reality is his qualified assets are all the way up to 1.7 million. So my spreadsheet won't do this yet. I know somebody can help me make that happen. He can go on, and as you can see, he could take 60,000 out of his qualified assets. Going to be, they're all going to be taxable, and he would be okay. But he will run out of his qualified assets also at about age 83. So this is not a good scenario. You aren't going to make it if all you have is a 5% return on your investments. If you're a conservative investment, you can't retire at 55 with $750,000. So let's change that back to 8%, and then let's do something else that I think is very interesting. Let's assume that he's got $1 million in his qualified account and 500,000 in his non-qualified account. This changes things also very dramatically, because what is going to happen is he's going to spend down this non-qualified count about the time he's 67. Now, there is a cure for this. He could very easily start taking early distributions at 59.5 out of his qualified account, and he'd probably still be okay. As you can see, under this scenario, in fact, he's all right. The numbers aren't right because we've got a negative number in the non-qualified starting at age, what is that, about 68. So this is a work in progress, and what I would hope to do is I'll work on developing it more accurately so that we draw down the non-qualified and the qualified and whatever. But this will be a place where you can start. What I'm going to do is, and I'm going to make it available to you, I'm going to put a link to it in the description where you can go and give me your email address and your name, and I'll mail this to you. I think that's a more accurate way for it to be distributed. That link will be right below the description in this video. Okay, that was my spreadsheet. As I said, I need some more help on it. There need to be, and I know on Excel you can enter some things, the what ifs. What if this happens, and what if this happened? How does that affect this number? And that would be such as, what if we do deplete the non-qualified assets and we have to then start pulling from the qualified assets, and what would the tax rate be on them? And to give you a definitive spreadsheet. This is not what this is. This is a starting point. And this is my reach out to you if you'd like this sort of thing to help you make decisions in retirement. This is a place that we can work together to see if we can make that happen. I just believe that all too many of us, and of us baby boomers, there are, what is it, 79 million of us. I think it's something like 11 million turn 65 every year. And until we die, we're going to have some tough questions to answer. And if we come together and work together on it, we can make better decisions. It's that simple. Yeah, you could go to a financial advisor, and by all means, if that's where you're comfortable, do it. But I need you to understand that a financial advisor is much like your doctor. He manages your portfolio when he sees you, and he is only as good as the information that you share with him. If you don't visit with him on a regular basis, it's just like your doctor. Your doctor doesn't know what's going on in your body 364 days a year. And he does on the one day a year where you go for your checkup, your annual checkup. If you don't see him more often than that, he doesn't have a clue. Now, technology is going to change that, but I just believe that there's so much out there, and there's so many of us out there that aren't getting good advice, because in a lot of cases we don't know the right questions to ask. And that's my responsibility as the host of Best of Us Investors. I'm going to help you understand your financial situation a little bit better, hopefully, and you can make better decisions. Now, I also am of the belief that if you study the stock market, if you study the economy, you can supplement your income very nicely by investing in the stock market. And I go into a lot of detail on that over at my other channel, and that's called Best of Us Investors. But if you want that spreadsheet so that you can work with it as far as I can take you with it, go down into the description, find the link to it. That will take you to a sign-up sheet where you'll give me your name, your email address, and I'll send you a link to that spreadsheet so you can play with it on your computer, and maybe it can help you. Now, if this is the kind of video that you think could help you have a better life, by all means, give it a thumbs up. That helps my algorithm. And what that does is, helping my algorithm, it helps Google, who owns YouTube, to understand that people like this and people can be helped by it. And what that does is they then strive to put it in front of more people, and that way I get to help more people. And we build our team. And some of those people are going to join the team, and they're going to be able to help us. Think about it. I'm 76. No, I just turned 77 last week. I'm 77 years of age. I've got 77 years of experience. I've got at least probably 40 of those years heavy into the investment world. I got something to share. You've got something to share. So share it with us. Become a part of this community, and we'll grow the community to where we're all benefactors of the best of us in retirement. Talk to you again soon. I do about 3 videos a week, so ring that bell when you subscribe, and it will automatically notify you when I come out with another video. Thanks for your time.